Hello, hello. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. How you feeling, dude? A million times better. I am all healed. War's over, right? Yeah, bro. The war's over, man. Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. But a new war began. How does that feel? I'm just kidding. The war did not end. The war has actually just escalated even more. Let me see if I can whip this up. I gotta check something out. Oh, great. Literally breaking news from 18 minutes ago that we just sunk 6 ships. 6 Iranian ships. Ain't that something, huh? Ain't that something, huh? Yippee! Yippee! Doc, I'm way ahead of you. I have too many links. I will look at the doc, but I'm definitely not going to use it today. We'll probably use it tomorrow, though. I'll give it a gander. But look how many fucking links I've already got. You are stacked. You have no idea, bro. You have no idea. We're gonna rebuild the Death Star. It'll be amazing, believe me, so luxurious. And the rebels will pay for it. It won't let me comment unless I use this thing. That's fucking crazy, but thank you for becoming a member. Seen the Has Been Hotel parody song insulting Trump? No, I have not. Oh, that's a beautiful eagle. Oh my god, it's Star Wars themed. Turmoil has engulfed the Persian Gulf. How dare you say engulfed the Gulf? How dare you? Turmoil has engulfed the Persian Gulf. The United States, after initiating a preemptive war against Iran, now faces a closed Strait of Hormuz, a blockade of its own making. Claiming the need to restore freedom of navigation, Washington has declared it will forcibly escort tankers through the strait, ignoring Tehran's warning that such action is an act of war. While the UN Security Council condemns the escalation, the Pentagon claims to have secretly deployed 2 strike groups, not as guardians of peace, but as enforcers of the new American order, where might makes right, to break the very blockade the U.S. helped create. May the 4th be with you. Whoever knows trade blockades are actually a very real plot lines. Now, if we can just get those Epstein files, so many rebel spies died to get released. Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that Star Wars is all about the closing of a trade route. Like, the beginning of Star Wars is all about the closing of a fucking trade route that is practically the space version of the Strait of Hormuz. Shout out to Capella because I'm getting a pup from her. Shout out to Chris because of his Discord. I've made so many friends. And a shout out to you for becoming a member for 4 months. Very much so appreciate it. Star Wars fans streamed franchise for 33 billion minutes in 2025. Jesus fucking Christ. What the fuck is this? What is that? Is that printer paper? Is that me coming out of a receipt? Is that receipt paper? Is that receipt paper? You sick, twisted fucks. What the fuck? That's crazy. This is getting better and better every time. I love this thing. Anyway, we'll keep this. I'll try and comb through more of the links tomorrow because I have so many. But I'm thinking maybe I'll just, I'm definitely going to show everybody this right when we begin. Right when we begin. Money to water the OAL's root. Much love, mister. We are all glad you're feeling better. Thank you for the $20, Clatton Panel. I appreciate that. You should get that tattooed. This? It's not a bad idea. That's a pretty damn good tattoo. Yummy links. So delicious. You got here right on time, Shag. Gang, I'm thinking we just start recording. What are you thinking? What are you thinking? You guys down? My links are better. Malenti, all of these are your links. All of them. Every single one of these are your links. All right, shall we dive in? Shall we dive in? Y'all ready? All right, Kirk in. Luigi, what's wrong? She'll figure it out. The war rages on, ladies and gentlemen, and may the 4th be with you. We're recording this on May 4th. I don't have a lisp anymore. I went through speech therapy as a child. We got a lot to talk about. The Iranians bombed the UAE. We just sunk 6 Iranian ships in the Strait of Hormuz. This is this is breaking news from like 20 minutes ago. It's nightmare. I mean, the war is waging on. The fucking, the ceasefire is completely over. Trump is crashing out on Truth Social. Trump says he wouldn't be satisfied with any sort of peace deal with Iran. I mean, MAGA is collapsing. Americans hate this war. Trump says we're going to take over Cuba. I mean, just so we're withdrawing 5,000 troops from Germany, which is a good thing, mind you. Donald thinks he's like punishing Germany by like removing the Western imperialist forces from Europe. And it's like, no, do it. Do it for other countries. Take the US out of every fucking country and see what happens, bro. You're gonna see giant leftist momentum start to brew in these nations when you get rid of the imperialist dogmen who are invading them. You have Trump literally saying himself that we are acting like pirates. I'm not even kidding. He said, it's a very profitable business. We're like pirates, you know? We go in and we just take stuff off the ships. Diabolical. But before we do dive the fuck in, I want to show you what the OAL, which is the name of the community, has created for today. So by the way, Trump posted this on Truth Social, followed with some stupid bullshit, but because it is May the 4th, the OAL media team has decided to create a Star Wars themed docu-tussie for the day. If you don't know, we have the Google Doc that if you want to get me to cover a specific story, you could join the Discord, you could talk to one of the mods, and they will potentially put a link to the story that you want covered into the daily document, the daily dossier. But I just want to go over the beginning of this. Good morning, OAL! May 4th, 2026.
We'll rebuild the Death Star. It'll be amazing, believe me. So luxurious. And the rebels will pay for it.
Turmoil has engulfed the Persian Gulf. The United States, after initiating a preemptive war against Iran, now faces a closed Strait of Hormuz, a blockade of its own making. Claiming the need to restore freedom of navigation, Washington has declared it will forcibly escort tankers through the strait, ignoring Tehran's warning that such action is an act of war. While the UN Security Council condemns the escalation, the Pentagon claims to have secretly deployed 2 strike groups, not as guardians of peace, but as enforcers of a new American order, where might makes right, to break the very blockade the U.S. helped create. So yeah, we're gonna go over it on Trump's Truth, but he posted on Truth Social that Monday, which is today as of filming, he posted the other day, he was like, yeah, Monday Operation Freedom begins, where we're gonna use the U.S. Navy to help escort ships through the Strait of Hormuz. Now, immediately they walked this back because that is an act of war, and that would mean that we violated the ceasefire, which we did. And also the ceasefire never took hold because one of the mandatory parts of the ceasefire was Israel immediately ceases its illegal and offensive invasion of Lebanon, which they have yet to do. So, we have a lot to talk about. We're going to dive right in, but before we do, I want to remind you, hi, I'm Chris Valenti, and welcome to the Valenti VOD. This is real independent media. I've never had a conversation with an advertiser, a government, a billionaire, a PAC, or a sponsor, any of that shit. So, I don't make too much money off this channel other than the AdSense revenue and what is donated to me by you, the viewer. This is entirely grassroots-funded media, unlike almost every other fucking media outlet you're ever going to come across, including Midas Touch. Don't get me wrong, I love Midas Touch, but you'll see in the middle of their fucking video, they'll cut and go, This is an advertisement for Tushy, a bidet. bidet.
I have that bidet, by the way. It's remarkable. But you never need to worry about me doing an ad read, which means please donate to the channel. You could buy merch like the posters behind me. We also have mugs, hoodies, stickers, whatever. You can click the thanks button to donate to me directly, like Melody Green just did with $10. Thank you very much. You can click the join button down below to become a member of the channel, and you can become a patron on Patreon and donate $1, $5, $10, whatever you want to donate. You can donate that per month. And without further ado, I think that we can just dive right the fuck in. All right, let's do this. So, live updates. The U.S. has sunk 6 small Iranian boats as Iran launches attacks on the UAE and ships in the Strait of Hormuz. So, Iran launched a couple of missiles into the UAE, and yeah, like the war is picking up. And by the way, this is exactly what Iran said they would do, and I find it absolutely remarkable that we don't have any sort of defenses set up. In Gulf coastal nations, we quite literally have nothing. We're not even attempting to shoot down these drones. By the way, we don't have the interceptors. You know, we're completely out of ammo, which is why JD Vance is like allegedly leaking out from the White House that he's concerned that we don't have the munitions to continue this war. But let's see what to know about the Iran war today. Iran launched its first missile and drone attack on the United Arab Emirates since a ceasefire with the U.S. took effect on April 8th, and it fired 2 drones at a ship in the Strait of Hormuz, UAE authorities said Monday. The U.S. military said 2 commercial vessels safely transited the key waterway Monday under Project Freedom initiative announced by President Trump. Iran fired missiles at ships being protected during the operation, and the commander of Central Command says U.S. forces destroyed 6 Iranian small boats for trying to interfere. I need to point something out, which is CENTCOM cannot be trusted anymore. Back in the day, CENTCOM used to be a very reliable, place to look for your info regarding warfare, but now it is completely and totally controlled by these fascists at the top, and they have been willingly lying to you for fucking months. If you still believe we have only lost 13 U.S. soldiers, you are a fucking fool. We have lost literally hundreds of U.S. soldiers, not to mention that there is at least 750 U.S. casualties in the region. We have lost 12 bases. Now, when I say lost, I don't mean they were hit. I mean they were destroyed. So 12 American bases in the region are completely and totally gone. So we'll see what the fuck happens with that. But I want to show you what Donald Trump, the Führer of the United States of America, has been posting on Truth Social. So obviously, we're going to start with 2 days ago. Here's AI-generated picture, some fucking picture of his dumb, cheap Slovenian hooker of a wife who we are now finding out through leaked audio recordings that she used to be a fucking escort. So all the times that I have called her a cheap Slovenian hooker, I've just been vindicated. However, I was wrong about cheap. She was not cheap. She was a very expensive Slovenian hooker, and she managed to dig her grubby little paws into the man who ended up becoming the president of the United States of America. All right. And then what is this? An AI-generated picture of Hakeem Jeffries holding a bat. Fucking stupid. Trump posts, I have all the cards. Meanwhile, I don't think he understands that when you're playing Uno, the more cards you have means you are fucking losing, you absolute bumbling dipshit. I'm pretty sure this is what the face that he wants on the new Trump dollar coin. This is him saying that he's going to put his face on Mount Rushmore, more pictures of him with his whore, more pictures with this decrepit old fuck known as the king. Obviously, some AI-generated photos of the Lincoln reflecting pool once it's Lincoln Memorial Pool, once it's bluer. By the way, this is not a real photo. This is an AI-generated recreation of that one. Same thing with this. This is an AI-generated recreation. And then they actually changed the background because everybody was talking about how the clouds in this picture are the exact same as the clouds in a picture from years ago. So that's hilarious. All right, now we're going to talk about the shit that he has been saying that actually has an impact on the world. Here we go.
I will soon be reviewing the plan that Iran has just sent to us, but can't imagine that it would be acceptable in that they have not yet paid a big enough price for what they have done to humanity and the world over the last 47 years. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. So how I interpret this is that he says, I can't imagine it'll be acceptable, and that's because Donald Trump does not have permission to have a end of hostilities with Iran. You have to remember who the top dog is, who the alpha is in this situation, and that is Israel. That is Benjamin Netanyahu. On top of the fact that the American State Department walks hand in hand with Israeli Zionists, the Israelis have an actual, this isn't hyperbole,
The Israelis have an actual vault in Tel Aviv with hundreds of videos, literally hundreds of hours of footage of Donald J. Trump raping children. Not one child, not 10 child, not 50 children. We're talking hundreds. Donald J. Trump has raped hundreds of children. Okay? And all of it is on video as gathered by Jeffrey Epstein, and the Israelis have that. So without Israeli permission, Donald is not allowed to end this war in Iran because the Israelis are creating the Greater Israel Project, and one of the necessary requirements for that to hold is the destruction of Iran because they are the only other regional power who could potentially combat the Israeli dogmen and their infiltration of the entirety of the Middle East, which began when they infiltrated Palestine. Israel did not exist before 1948. The Jews from Europe all moved to England after the Holocaust, and they were provided Palestinian passports. They were then shipped over to Palestine and told to create a country there, despite the fact that there were natives there. So they participated in something called the Nakba, where they purposefully forced, I think it was between 700,000 and 1 million Palestinians out of their homes, fucking murdering them in mass along the way. So again, Donald is not allowed to end this war without Israeli permission because he is their bitch. All right, now some stupid fucking shit about elections. So ironic that crying Chuck Schumer and the Democrats are hiring sleazebags like Barack Hussein Obama's crooked former Attorney General Eric Holder and others of that ilk to look into voter integrity when this same group of human garbage rigged the 2020 presidential election. Get tough, Republicans. They're coming, and they're coming fast. They're no good for our country. They almost destroyed it, and we don't want to let that happen again. These are highly dishonest people who are, in many ways, treasonous in that they are trying to destabilize the United States of America in what some would call a war. Republicans must terminate the filibuster and approve all the necessary safeguards we need for elections to protect the American public for the upcoming midterms. Make America great again, President Donald J. Trump. So again, every accusation is a confession when it comes to fascists, and this is a confession that they will do everything they can to rig the midterm elections, which is why I, Kyle Kulinski, Hassan Piker, every other leftist that you know has been screaming bloody murder about the midterms and how important it is for you to actually vote in person. Mail-in ballots will be cast to the side. They will be attempting to disenfranchise any and all black and brown people who try to vote. Trans people, good luck voting. Genuinely, if the SAVE Act passes, genuinely good luck fucking voting. Anyway, let's see what else we've got. Go back here. God damn it, Donald. Let me see your... Okay, we got to scroll down a little bit more because he reposts the same photos over and over and over again. Okay. Bill Maher got eaten up by Gavin Newsom when Newsom said how well California is doing. A complete lie, and Bill Maher never challenged him, not even a little bit. Also, Bill Maher's ratings suck, President Donald J. Trump. Well, that's one place where I will agree with him, which is that Bill Maher fucking sucks, and so does Gavin Newsom. Hakeem Jeffries, a low IQ individual, said our Supreme Court is illegitimate. After saying such a thing, isn't he subject to impeachment? You want to talk about impeachment, you fucking pedophile? I got impeached for a perfect phone call. Where are you, Republicans? Why not get it started? They'll be doing this to me, President Donald J. Trump. You're damn right we're going to impeach you. Granted, you getting impeached is not going to do fucking anything. Oh my God, they're painting this shit on helicopters. Ugh. Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm going to skip this one. Oh, good news, guys, by the way. Rudy Giuliani is in the hospital in critical condition. Hopefully, you know. I can't say it, but, you know. I was going to say hopefully it's slow, but clearly it has been. He looks like fucking shit. All right, then some stupid shit about Van Jones. This is complete lies. We have not destroyed their Navy, we have not destroyed their Air Force, and we have not destroyed their air defense. You did kill their Ayatollah, but they immediately replaced him, so can't really help you there. All right, here we go. Iran has taken some shots at unrelated nations with respect to the ship movement. Project Freedom, including a South Korean cargo ship. Perhaps it's time for South Korea to come and join the mission. We've shot down several small boats, or as they like to call them, fast boats. It's all they have left. Other than the South Korean ship, there has been, at this moment, no damage going through the strait.
Secretary of War and raging alcoholic rapist Pete Hegseth and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff Dan Kane will have a news conference tomorrow morning. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Why does it keep doing this? Why is it taking me back to like the replies to his comments? Okay. What else? I don't give a fuck about that. Oh, and then his AI generated endorsements of people. Bro, the president of the United States posts so much. I mean, look at all this. Is why we know that fucking alleged assassination attempt was completely fucking bullshit. Build the ballroom, build the ballroom. Oh, the assassination attempt, build the ballroom, build the ballroom. Oh my God, he's posting so much of it. It's time to build the ballroom. Oh my God, dude. Talking about throwing Jerome Powell in the trash. I made the USA $45 billion in 8 months. No, you didn't. Hi, Luigi. What, do you want to come up here and say hello to everybody? Would you like to come up here and say hello? A quick Luigi break. Hi, Luigi. Wow. Wow. Hi. Hi, Luigi. Wow. What a happy little girl. Okay. I gotta put you down now, Mama. I'm working, sweet girl. Hi, Beans. Beans is also on the ground next to me. Okay. All right, it seems like that's all he's got so far because he's a fucking raging lunatic. Time to start diving into the real news. Iran War Live. UAE says it intercepted missiles and drone sparks fire at an oil site. The UAE says its forces are responding to an Iranian drone and missile attack, with authorities in Fujairah reporting a fire at an oil facility. 2 missiles hit a U.S. frigate in the Strait of Hormuz after it ignored warnings from Iran's Navy to halt. So now our ships, by the way, I've been saying this for a while, our ships are actually getting hit by Iranian missiles, okay? If this doesn't concern you, I regret to inform you that absolutely nothing ever will. Especially because Donald's the type of guy to lash out, to crank the dial up to 11. You know, you touch our ships, I would genuinely be concerned with Donald ordering another nuclear strike on you. And I say another, not because we've hit them with a nuke, but because Donald has requested to nuke Iran 9 times so far in this war. He has requested to nuke Iran 9 times so far in this war. Now, this is what I was telling you earlier, that CENTCOM can't be trusted, because we know that 2 American ships were hit. Iranian state media claims that Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps hit a U.S. warship with 2 missiles. Truth, no U.S. Navy ships have been struck. U.S. forces are supporting Project Freedom and enforcing the naval blockade on Iranian ports. This is not true. We have been struck by 2 different missiles. This is why you simply cannot trust anything that the United States government tells you. This is from Barack Ravid. A senior American official said that the rules of engagement for U.S. forces in the region have been changed and that they have been authorized to attack immediate threats against ships crossing the strait, such as fast boats of the Revolutionary Guard or Iranian missile positions. This is another sign, this is another sign that they did successfully hit one of our ships. We would only have changed the rules of engagement if we had been hit. All right, more. Trump announces operation to clear ships in the Strait of Hormuz. So again, this is called like Operation what? Project Freedom or some shit?
As the ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran holds, President Trump says he is reviewing Iran's latest peace proposal, but
by the way, the ceasefire has not held. And why is this guy dressed to the fucking nines,
his own words suggest that proposal may already be DOA. In a post on Truth Social, Trump writes, Iran has, quote, not yet paid a big enough price for what they have done to humanity and the world over the last 47 years. And it comes as the White House advances a new legal argument to skirt Congress entirely, claiming the 60-day deadline under the War Powers Resolution doesn't apply.
Oh, yeah, by the way, Trump is not seeking congressional approval for his illegal war. How many fucking times did I tell you this is going to happen? Guys, the rule of law does not apply to Donald Trump. Donald Trump does not respect the rule of law, okay? The Constitution doesn't matter to him. He advocated to terminate the entirety of the Constitution. This is a man who is a fascist. It's not debatable, okay? So he's not going to seek out congressional approval, and the line that they're using is that because of the ceasefire, all those days actually built up, and they can keep using them. But here's the thing. A blockade is an act of war. We enacted a blockade around the Strait of Hormuz. That is an act of war. We have been at war this entire fucking time. There has literally never been a ceasefire to begin with that could have even been broken.
Because the conflict terminated, that's Trump's word, when the U.S. and Iran entered a ceasefire, even as U.S. forces continue to enforce naval blockade in the Strait of Hormuz, which is a act of war.
Thank you! Thank you!
Over Trump's handling of the conflict are only growing.
All right, we got more here. U.S.-led task force tells ships to reroute on the first day of the new effort to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. The United States on Monday kicked an effort to guide stranded ships from the Iranian-gripped Strait of Hormuz as addressed to counter economic distress. Also, I love how Trump claims that we have full control over the Strait of Hormuz. Meanwhile, in the same breath, he's saying we're going to send in ships to escort people through. Brother, why do you need to escort them through the Strait of Hormuz if you have control of the Strait of Hormuz? Are you the ones firing the missiles? No. The Iranians are the ones firing the missiles. The Iranians are the ones using underwater drones. The Iranians are the ones laying mines throughout the strait. You have zero fucking control over this. I can no longer even work with people who like peddle the U.S. government's talking points because they're blatant lies. It's just lies. I can't debate with you if you believe lies are true. It can't be done. We have to exist in the same realm. We have to exist in the same reality, which is the Iranians control the Strait of Hormuz right now, brother. A day after the Führer announced what he called Project Freedom, the Joint Maritime Information Center said Monday that U.S. ships had set up an enhanced security area south of typical shipping routes and urged mariners to coordinate closely with the Omani authorities due to anticipated high traffic volume. The center warned that passing close to usual routes, known as the traffic separation scheme, quote, should be considered extremely hazardous due to the presence of mines that have not been fully surveyed and mitigated. So we don't even know where the fucking mines are, and you're pretending like this war is going well. Unbelievable. So this is the long post that he made about announcing Project Freedom. I'm going to read it for you. Countries from all over the world, almost all of which are not involved in the Middle Eastern dispute going on so visibly and violently for all to see, have asked the United States if we could help free up their ships which are locked up in the Strait of Hormuz on something which they have absolutely nothing to do with. They are merely neutral and innocent bystanders for the good of Iran, the Middle East, and the United States. We have told these countries, by the way, Trump saying they are merely neutral and innocent bystanders pisses me off so much because he does not give a fuck about slaughtering children and women and innocent people in Iran who are genuinely innocent bystanders who have nothing to do with this conflict. And the grace he's willing to give these companies who have their own like cost benefit analysis, and we have these ships on the strait and they have all this oil and it's so much money, Donald, and he's so willing to fight for them, and he doesn't give a fuck about the fucking children's school that we triple tapped. God damn, it's infuriating. We have told these, for the good of Iran, the Middle East, and the United States, we have told these countries that we will guide their ships safely out of these restricted waterways so that they can freely and ably get on with their business. Again, these are ships from areas of the world that are not in any way involved with that which is currently taking place in the Middle East. Dude, he can't say war. He's not allowed to say the war. So he's saying that which is currently taking place instead of saying ships from areas in the world that are not in any way involved in the war. I have told my representatives to inform them that we will use our best efforts to get their ships and crews safely out of the strait. In all cases, they said they will not be returning until the area becomes safe for navigation and everything else. This process, Project Freedom, will begin Monday morning, Middle East time. I am fully aware that my representatives are having very positive discussions with the country of Iran, and these discussions could lead to something very positive for all. The ship movement is merely meant to free up people, companies, and countries that have done absolutely nothing wrong. They are victims of circumstance. This is a humanitarian gesture on behalf of the United States, Middle Eastern countries, but in particular the country of Iran. Many of these ships are now running low on food and everything else necessary for large-scale crews to stay on board in a healthy and sanitary manner. I think it would go a long way in showing goodwill on behalf of all of those who have been fighting so strenuously over the last number of months. If in any way this humanitarian process is interfered with, that interference will unfortunately have to be dealt with forcefully. Thank you for your attention to this matter. You know what this is? The Gulf of Tonkin 2, Electric Boogaloo. If you don't know, the Gulf of Tonkin was a fabricated event. It did not happen, but the United States government, right before the Vietnam War, claimed that a couple of American ships in the Gulf of Tonkin were fired upon by North Vietnamese forces, right? And that then is what we used to garner the consent for a ground invasion into Vietnam. Trump, I'm not saying that we don't have ships in the region, like in the Gulf of Tonkin when we actually didn't. What I'm claiming is that Trump is sacrificing these ships, purposefully putting these ships in danger, hoping that the Iranians bomb them so that he can use that as an excuse to do a full-scale ground invasion of Iran. Because please do not forget, Trump only has 3 options. Option number 1, complete and total surrender. Okay, now he can't do that because he doesn't have permission from Benjamin Netanyahu. Option 2, a full-scale ground invasion of Iran. This would fail miserably, as we know, because the attempted invasion at Isfahan failed miserably when they were pretending to get a downed pilot, which we have not heard anything of ever since. We never got to know the pilot's name. That brave pilot hero never came out on the TV, which is exactly what Trump would have done if this was real. You're understanding that was an attempt to confiscate the enriched uranium in Isfahan, and it failed fucking miserably. And then option 3 that Donald has, nuke him. And that is becoming more and more likely as the days go on, especially with Trump recently saying that he would hit them with, it would be the largest air campaign, the largest bombing run that the world has ever fucking seen. He said that, see, it's so lost on his Truth Social because he posts so fucking often. But, yeah, he did post that. I'm trying to find it. I don't know if I can. Yeah, I probably can't find it. Doesn't matter. Anyway, let's keep on moving here. All right, so now we have a clip of Trump claiming that Iran is trying to make a deal, which is hilarious because now we're bombing the fuck out of them. Get a look.
Really great, yeah. And that's going to carry forward. Look, the country's doing really well. And that's despite a military operation. I don't call it a war. Would you rather have it?
You have called it a war numerous fucking times, and the reason why he's trying not to call it a war anymore is because you need congressional approval to wage war after 60 days, and it has been past 60 days, and he doesn't want to catch any flack.
Military operation. We're really, I mean, Iran is dying to make a deal.
Not true whatsoever. Iran has already said that, yeah, we can negotiate, but we're not even discussing nuclear material whatsoever. Like, literally, the Iranians have all the cards in their hand that they are now dictating what they're willing to talk about in the negotiations. They're saying, yeah, we can negotiate, but no, we're not going to negotiate our nukes anymore. Go fuck yourself. And Trump can't do anything about it.
I can only tell you that. I mean, Iran is dying to make a deal. I can only tell you that. I don't want to get into the, but they cannot be nuclear other than that, but they are.
Dude, he just said they cannot be nuclear. That's the one thing that they said. We're not going to discuss this. And I'm convinced that this bumbling pedophile, racist rapist doesn't even know that they said that.
Their Navy's gone. Their Air Force is gone.
Neither of those things are true.
Every ounce of any form of equipment practically is gone. You know.
Not true.
Their drone factories are about 82% down.
Not true. Like, dude, this guy. Here's the thing, guys. I need to ask you. You leave it in the comments down below. Do you think he is lying and knows none of this is true? Or do you think he actually believes this is true? Because I used to be in the school of thinking he believes this is true. I no longer think that. I think that he is like willingly lying and he knows none of this is true, but he also knows that his base is so stupid. And this is to you, Trump voter. You are literally a window-licking troglodyte. You are so fucking stupid, and he knows that. That's why he targeted you to be his base of support. He targeted the stupidest people in the United States of America, and it worked perfectly because you are that stupid.
And their missile factories are almost 90% down.
Not true at all.
And many of their missiles have been knocked out. They used some, but we knocked out more than they used. And it's pretty amazing what's happened. They want to make a deal. But despite the fact that we are in what some people would call a war, we just hit a new high today on the stock market.
Oh, my God.
We have S&P is through the roof. They're through the roof.
This motherfucker thinks that the stock market controls the U.S. economy when the overwhelming majority of Americans don't have a single penny invested in the stock market. Iran offers a new response on the draft of the peace deal. Trump says that he is not satisfied. Well, that shouldn't surprise you. He wants action. Trump's frustration with Iran's stalemate sparked Hormuz gambit. The president wants action. He doesn't want to sit still. He wants pressure. He wants a deal, a senior U.S. official told Axios. All right, so look at this. Gas. The price of gas is jumping nationwide. I'm sure that you have seen this. By the way, red states, you know, these are very rural areas. People drive a lot more in red states than they do in a city like New York, right? So the Republicans are feeling this harder than anybody else. Every single state has higher gas prices today compared to a week ago. Indiana went up 84 cents per gallon. What is this? Michigan went up 72 cents per gallon. Ohio went up 60 cents per gallon. Illinois went up 39 cents per gallon, and New Mexico went up 37 cents per gallon. It is fucking insane. We are now in a worse gas crisis than we were during the original Iranian oil crisis in the 1970s. Okay, by the way, Spirit Airlines shuts down, blames sudden and sustained rise in fuel prices. They quite literally cannot afford their jet fuel anymore. And you have people on Fox News blaming Joe Biden for it. That also shouldn't surprise you.
Spirit Airlines ceasing operations over the weekend after failing to come to an agreement with bondholders on an 11th hour bailout from the Trump administration. Spirit CEO blaming what he called the sudden and sustained rise in fuel prices in recent weeks. Spirit said 17,000 direct and indirect employees have lost their jobs. Other airlines pledging to help stranded.
All right, so let's put that on a billboard that under Donald Trump's presidency, 17,000 people in one company lost their job because of his illegal and offensive war in the name of Jeffrey Epstein.
Passengers and crews. Following the shutdown, U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said he didn't think the government needed to bail out low-cost airlines that have sought billions of dollars in relief over higher fuel prices.
I hope you guys are ready for $900 fucking plane tickets.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was something to watch this weekend, Mike. I mean, just so much coming out of that. And I think there were 1.8 million passenger trips that had to be rebooked in the pretty immediate future. I'm wondering, yeah, what kind of impact that's going to have. But we will continue to watch that as well. When we come back,
Luigi, shush.
GameStop CEO Ryan Cohen will join us live on his more than $50 billion bid for eBay.
GameStop trying to buy eBay. Who gives a fuck about that? All right, so we got some Harry Enton here. We love Harry Enton with his transatlantic accent. More voters blame Trump. 77% of voters blame Trump for gas prices rising than they blamed Bush, Obama, or Biden. And a rare majority trifecta of Dems, 95% of Dems, 82% of independents, and 55% of the GOP now blame Trump. Trump is underwater, folks.
At 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, Donald John Trump, the President of the United States, and to a historic degree, look at this, blame for the increase.
Let's speed him up, by the way, because this is a little bit of a long video. Granted, Harry already talks incredibly fucking fast, so this is going to be really funny.
Gas prices, 77% say Donald Trump. I look back at every president that I could find on a similar question.
Highest, all right, so blame for increase in gas prices. 77% of Americans blame Donald Trump for the rise of gas prices. That is more than any of the other presidents before him.
When the gas prices rise, who gets the blame? Trump gets the blame more than Joe Biden did back in 2022, more than Barack Obama did in 2012, and more than George W. Bush did back in 2005, 71%. Donald Trump takes the cake. He owns this mess, according to the American people, and it is quite the mess because as gas prices climb ever higher and the increase in the percentage that blame Donald Trump climb ever higher, his approval ratings go down in the basement.
So presidents always get blamed, but he's getting blamed more.
He is getting blamed more to a historic degree.
What about the partisan breakdown here?
Now, this is where it gets really stunning. Okay, you know, we've seen numbers that are this bad for Trump. You know, disapproval rating on gas prices around this area, the percentage blaming him for the increase in gas prices around this area. But when you break it down by party, this is where it gets, oh my. You know, this is a Republican base that has been infatuated with Donald Trump for years. But even here, blame Trump for rising gas prices, 55%, a majority of Republicans.
That's fucking crazy, dude. Like, and also, just to remind you guys, there's only 22 million people in this nation who, or around 22 million people, who vehemently support Donald Trump right now. If you support Donald Trump, you are in the overwhelming minority, bro. You don't have anybody to stand by you anymore. There's a reason why your family ostracizes you. There's a reason why women don't love you. You are a fucking cultist.
blame Donald Trump for gas prices. That is the highest ever blame for gas prices from one's own party. Then you see 82% of independents. That's the highest percentage who blame the president of the United States among independents. Not much of a surprise, 95% of Democrats, but majority. Rarely do you get the trifecta of majority from across the political spectrum agreeing on something, but here we have it. The majority of Republicans, independents, and Democrats all blame Trump for higher gas prices.
And this is the highest ever from inside one's own party?
That is correct. This is the highest ever from inside one's party. When you look at the three other presidents that you have on your screen right here, that 55% that you see here, blaming the president from in one's own party, that is the highest ever.
Okay, so the president says it's all worth it. It's worth it to fight this war in Iran. What do the American people say?
Yeah, okay. Last night as well, Rick Scott, the senator from the great state of Florida, said the same thing. It was worth it for him, despite the fact that we had the higher gas prices. But do the American people agree? They don't agree with the president of the United States, and they don't agree with the senator from the state of Florida. Look at this. Is the Iran war worth higher gas prices? 64% of Americans say no. Just a third say yes. These are types of numbers we see consistently with this war over and over and over again. We're not just getting little majorities. We're getting vast majorities agreeing on something, and here we have the vast majority say no. The Iran war is not worth higher gas prices. As I said, it is a mess, and is a mess in the minds of the American people of the president's own making.
They already say it's not worth it. They already say they don't like it. What are the prediction markets saying about where these gas prices are headed?
Yeah, okay. You think it's bad right now? The prediction market, the Casual prediction market, thinks it's going to get even worse. Chance gas prices this.
Dude, that's such a crazy fucking poll. Is the Iran war worth higher gas prices? 64% of Americans say no. Bro, this is a poll that they should be putting at the gas pumps. Like as you're filling up gas, it should pop up on the touch screen and be like, is the increased price that you're experiencing worth a non-nuclear Iran? I want to see how people fucking vote on that.
Where these gas prices are headed.
Yeah, okay. You think it's bad right now? The prediction market, the Casual prediction market, thinks it's going to get even worse. Chance gas prices this year rise above $5 a gallon. Look at this, 74%.
Chatter says, I told my father everything Donnie Diddle's kids did, and he said he will happily and proudly vote Republican in midterms. What do I do? You cut him off. And I mean, maybe you live with your father, so you can't cut him off like entirely, but I regret to inform you that your father cannot be saved. He is unironically an inferior being. He is in a cult. He does not live in the same reality as you, okay? The best thing you could do for him is ostracize him completely and make him choose between Donald Trump and his own child. Now, he will instinctively choose Donald Trump, but he will then have to live with that for years and years and years, and maybe potentially that'll lead him into seeing the light, but most likely there's absolutely nothing you can do for him. It's a cult. It's not a political party. It is literally a cult.
74% chance say yes, they will. You go back to April 17th, it was just 30% then. So what we've seen is this number climb ever higher. The bottom line is this: the situation is getting worse. You see it every day at the pump, and the Casual prediction market, the people who are putting their money where their mouth is, say it will continue to get worse most likely.
It's $4.40 now. It's got a ways to go to get to $5, so we'll see.
We'll see, although it's climbing very quickly.
Harold, thank you very much.
Johannes, happy weekend.
All right, a lot of news. We'll be right back.
All right, let's move on. Got another clip here. This is Tim Dillon, hilarious comedian, but he's just this is a relatively old clip from April 11th, but talking about the fact, like, this is a guy who was one of Trump's loyalists, bro. The podcast bros, Joe Rogan and Tim Dillon and Andrew Schultz and all these people, they peddled this motherfucker, and now even they are turning against him.
Lost. There's nowhere to go. It's checkmate. We can't do the things we think we can. We're tweeting. We're truth socialing, whatever. We're trying to win the war on social media, and we're not even doing that because do you have the Lego thing up? Can you get that Lego video? We're not even winning the shit-talking war. We're not even winning that. The shit talk? You think America would win that, at least? If we're going to win one thing, we're getting bodied by Iranian AI in the war of shit talk. Truly, how embarrassing. We're the country that invented shit talk, and we're getting lit up.
Bullshit. I guarantee you one of the African nations created shit talking. Are you out of your fucking gourd?
Take a look.
Orange pig. America first? Oops. Oh boy, that was the slogan you sold. But Bibi's pulling strings and your vote is getting cold. We're not just fighting for Iran, hear this clear. Your people reached out to us. Yeah, we got the DMs here. If one nation's gonna stand against the Epstein regime's fear, it's us till the last breath. We've been doing it for years. We're standing here for everyone. Your system ever wrong, they've known all along.
How are we losing in this? We are getting bodied with the Lego stuff.
Stealing from your own people, making them bleed, taking tax dollars just to fund your own greed. They waking up to the lies, the illusions of birth. You scream America first now. You put
Unbelievable.
Make Israel great again. Your government is
pedophiles. They ordered you to die for Israel. Die for Israel.
They lied
To you all. It's also just so good. It's not even about the shit talking and the level of it. It's about how good it is. It's so good. I need to play that last part one more time. Hold on.
Unbelievable.
Make Israel great again.
Your government is run by pedophiles. They ordered you to die for Israel. Die for Israel. They lied to you all. It's so good.
I mean, we're not even winning that. We're losing that. I mean, it's unbelievable.
It is. And to have somebody like Tim Dillon turning against you is pretty damn dangerous, bro. You're also going to have Joe Rogan turning against you any fucking day now once he takes Trump's dick out of his fucking asshole. Americans remain deeply skeptical of the war in Iran, polls show. Let's see. We're not going to let Iran have a nuclear weapon, Trump told reporters Wednesday in the Oval Office. We knocked out their Navy. We knocked out their Air Force. We knocked out their anti-aircraft everything apparatus. We knocked out their anti-aircraft everything apparatus. Jesus fucking Christ, bro. All right, 60% of respondents said they believed American military action increased the odds of a U.S. recession. 37% said that it would decrease the chances or make no difference. Those people are so fucking stupid, bro. Oh my God. All right, so Republicans already know that they're fucked. With direct quote, "We are already cooked." Republicans brace for a midterm reckoning. Oh, Jesus Christ. Where is that quote? Who said it? Okay. Privately, some of Trump's aides acknowledge it. The vibe right now is we know we are already cooked in the midterms, a White House official told MS Now, who was granted anonymity to speak candidly. The numbers help explain the gloom. For the first time since 2010, voters say they trust Democrats more than Republicans to handle the economy. Oh my God. Economists have largely scaled back their forecast for the remainder of the year. 6 months out from the November election, Democrats are favored to take the House and increasingly rosy about their prospects for the Senate, despite a difficult map. As of this moment, of course you have to be very concerned. Representative Jeff Van Drew, Republican. If you aren't concerned, you'd be kind of foolish. We are either going to win the majority by a little, lose the majority by a little, or lose it by a lot. So listen, the whole idea of him winning by a little, that is complete and total cope. The only possible way that the Republicans can win anywhere in the midterm elections is by stealing the election. Oh, what is this? Conservative squawk box host tussles with Scalise over gas prices. A conservative TV host pressed House Majority Leader Steve Scalise on Thursday about rising fuel prices across the U.S., telling squawk box, "We've delivered." Do we have a clip of this? I think we do.
The president has got himself and America stuck in the quagmire of another war in the Middle East. He's desperately trying to extricate himself from his own mistakes.
When you tell them 2 months in, Congressman, you should know better. Shame on you. Calling this a quagmire 2 months in.
Fucking banger background music, by the way. Thin case for Comey's prosecution stirs. This has nothing to do with anything. This is just like the headlines for the day. All right, so again, here we got a clip. By the way, if you thought the war, hold on, Donald. If you thought the war in Iran is a problem, just wait until we also wage war in Cuba. Listen to what he said when he was talking to a whole bunch of senior citizens.
Originally a place called Cuba, which we will be taking over almost immediately.
Sorry, what? You say we're going to be taking over Cuba almost immediately? I'm sorry, could you repeat that, please, for me?
Originally a place called Cuba, which we will be taking over almost immediately. What we'll do, on the way back from Iran, we'll have one of our big, maybe the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier, the biggest in the world. We'll have that come in, stop about 100 yards offshore, and they'll say, "Thank you very much, we give up."
Jesus Christ, dude. This guy is so flippant about genuine warfare. You know, like, I think he forgets that people actually get killed in warfare, and he wouldn't know because he's a draft-dodging coward that went to military high school. All right. We got another clip here from CBS.
You said the blockade is still on. A blockade is an act of war. Are we at war with Iran?
Iran shut down the straits. Iran shut down the straits.
Right.
And
this guy is such a fucking loser. Like, and also just some fat-bodied, fucking long-necked, chinless, baby-faced fucking dork, bro. Like, even to MAGA, bro, MAGA, you gotta be honest with yourself. This guy is a fucking cuck.
You said the blockade is still on. A blockade is an act of war. Are we at war with Iran?
Iran shut down the straits. Iran shut down the straits.
Right.
And the only ones they were letting through were Iranian ships, and President Trump didn't think that was acceptable.
So
okay,
we are still
you didn't answer the fucking question, you gelatinous, fat-bodied jellyfish. Are we at war with Iran? By the way, there's a correct answer to this question. The answer is yes.
War with Iran.
You know what? I don't know what the.
Sorry, what? Sorry, could you repeat that? Sorry.
Iran.
The question was.
We are still at war with Iran. We are still at war with Iran.
You know what? I don't know what the. You know what? I don't know what the definition of. You know what? I don't know what the definition of war is when we're not shooting. You know what? I don't know what the definition of war.
Pack it up. Pack it up. Pack it up. What are you, beatboxing? I don't really know what the definition of war is. Are you a fucking idiot, bro? Are we at war or not? Yes or no? Answer it in any other way, and I'll give you 50 lashes, and I'll put a ball and gag in your fucking mouth. Granted, this guy looks like he would love being put in a gimp suit and being abused a little bit. Same.
You know what? I don't know what the definition of war is when we're not shooting and we're negotiating.
We just sunk 6 of their fucking ships.
And they're under a lot of pressure. There's no reason, I think, right now to do anything other than what we're doing. The fact is that
a blockade is an act of war, you stupid fuck.
That regime has destroyed the country. Let me put it in perspective. In 1978, before the Ayatollah came in, then the per capita GDP in Iran was about the same as for Japan and Italy. Now it's about the same as for Honduras.
Right.
So they've run that country into the ground, and that's before the straits were closed. And so it's really, really a
even that, what he just said about their average GDP is not true whatsoever. Iran is in a stronger position than they were before the Strait of Hormuz closed. They're actually doing better. All right, now we got Jeanine Pirro talking about, this is hilarious. So don't forget, Judge Jeanine, that stupid fucking cake face ass bitch from Fox News, is now a member of the actual Trump regime. And they're gonna do, like, they're gonna say the quiet part out loud. Remember when Trump was on 60 Minutes and they were reading the part from that alleged shooter's manifesto where it was like, I can no longer be a citizen of a country that supports a pedophile, rapist, warmonger, and Trump goes, I'm not a rapist, I'm not a pedophile. And then the woman interviewing him goes, oh, you think he was talking about you? Jeanine Pirro just did the exact fucking same thing on CNN. Get a look at this.
And you alluded to the target being clear by the manifesto. The only name in the manifesto is Kash Patel. He cites Kash Patel.
Yeah, when he said, I'm going to kill everyone except Kash Patel because he's fucking useless and killing him wouldn't do anything.
Which he says he's not. Kash Patel's name in the manifesto is Kash Patel. He cites Kash Patel.
He leaves him out.
Which he says he's not.
She thinks that's fucking hilarious. Cash, you only have enemies, bro. You have no friends. Your own fucking girlfriend is a Mossad agent sent to spy on you.
Kash Patel's not a target. Right. He does say, and I want to apologize for using this language, but he does say, quote, I am no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes, unquote.
First of all, that's outrageous. I mean, there's a lot of other things you could have referred to. This guy is a hater. He hates Trump so much he wants to kill him.
Is he talking about Trump in that?
You're going to have to ask him that.
Okay.
I don't really care.
Cat got your tongue, Janine. You realize what you just did? You can always tell by the eyes because these bitches, they can't move their fucking face because the amount of plastic in them. But you can always tell by the eyes. Watch her fucking eyes.
Is he talking about Trump in that?
You're going to have to ask him that. I don't really care.
It's the I don't really care followed by a very scared blink.
I don't care.
You guys, I mean, I'm sure that you guys know this. Like, you ever had to lie to somebody straight to their fucking face, and it's really hard to do it. So, like, you know, you blink a lot. You're like, I'm telling you the truth. Like, it's something that people do when they're forced to lie. Unfucking believable. We got more here. All right, so here is Todd Blanche acting a fool on Meet the Press.
Well, you say that you're not actively at war. Here is what President Trump had to say on Friday. I want to play it for you, get your reaction on the other side.
They don't like the word war, and they call it a military operation because that way you don't have a war, you don't have legal problems.
Yeah, you don't have a war, you don't need congressional approval. So Trump, again, is saying the quiet part out loud. You got to remember that the way this works with Trump, he has dementia, okay? He has early onset Alzheimer's. And somebody in a private setting said to him, goes, Mr. President, we need you to stop calling it a war. And he goes, why? And they go, because if it's a war, you need congressional approval after day 60. And today is day 61. And he goes, okay. And then he goes on stage and goes, they don't want me to call it a war because if it's a war, you need congressional approval. Meanwhile, the person who told him that is standing in the sidelines going like this. Oh my God. Because he's so fucking stupid and he has dementia and there's no more barriers. You know, he went from a, like a low filter individual to a no filter individual, which is a very common trait among elderly people who are suffering from Alzheimer's and dementia.
The president effectively arguing that he can avoid congressional approval by avoiding using the word war?
He's not effectively arguing anything except that he is trying to keep this country safe. We have kept Congress updated at every step of the way, consistent with what other presidents have done. President Trump is doing something that the past 5 presidents did not do.
Yes, the past 5 presidents, every single president since 1979 has been asked by the Israelis to go to war with Iran. And every single president, despite how stupid they were, despite how much of a warmonger they were not stupid enough to wage Israel's war for them, knowing that it is impossible to beat Iran in a war. It's just not possible without the use of nuclear weapons. Donald J. Trump is a particularly stupid individual. He's an extraordinarily dumb man, and there's videos of him raping children in a vault in Tel Aviv. So, if you remember probably my most famous rant, let me see if I could whip this up for you. This was my most famous rant. Got like 6 million fucking views on Instagram, not to mention the shit that it got on all other platforms. But I've been fucking screaming this shit for so long. Get a look at this. President of the United States of America is a fucking pedophile! And the Israelis gathered blackmail on him through Jeffrey Epstein for fucking decades, knowing that if they could get that cocksucker into the fucking Oval, then they would finally get exactly what they have wanted for the past 47 years, which is to destroy Iran! That is the state of this fucking world. Because, like, dude, I've been fucking screaming this shit for a dog's age, and I ain't the only one. I mean, every motherfucker with a fucking brain cell has been saying this shit. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, more from the same interview.
As you know, the War Powers Act requires Congress to authorize military action beyond 60 days, which the U.S. passed on Friday. The president did send a letter to Congress, just to recap, saying that hostilities have been terminated given the ceasefire. That
This must be from a couple of days ago, because, by the way, just so you understand, even if you want to, for argument's sake, say that the ceasefire was being held, it is now, as of this morning on... what is this, May 4th, 2026? It is now officially over. The Iranians bombed the UAE. We destroyed 6 of their ships. They hit one of our ships with 2 missiles. Like, it has now escalated past the point it has ever been.
Was put in place on April 7th, and yet the U.S. is actively engaged in a naval blockade of Iranian ports as part of this conflict. Is the United States at war with Iran?
This is exactly what they just asked that fat-necked, baby-faced motherfucker. Guarantee you, he will not say yes or no. The question is, are we at war with Iran? He will not say yes or no.
No, but what President Trump...
God damn it. God fucking damn it. Okay.
The United States at war with Iran?
No, but what President Trump said this weekend is absolutely true. My job as the acting Attorney General is to make sure that...
See, folks, another reminder. We do this show live, all right? You ain't gonna see no cuts, you ain't gonna see no edits, all right? And you ain't gonna see nobody else do that except for Hassan. Now, I love Hassan, but his name is Hassan, and he's from Turkey. I'm white. Hey, I'm from New York, you know? I'm Italian, you know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit different.
President, that we all are doing the right thing legally, and we absolutely...
And it sounds from New Jersey. Ew, New Jersey. New Jersey.
As we said to Congress last week, there has been nothing going on, no hostilities, no exchange of fire since in almost a month. And how do you end a conflict?
Again, none of that was true. There was an exchange of fire the entire time.
How do you end this? You have a ceasefire, and that's exactly what we have, and Congress knows that, and the leadership knows that, and there's a lot of drama. I'm sure that Senator Schiff will come on here and say something different. This has been done repeatedly for many, many years with many, many presidents, and there's nothing inconsistent about what we're doing and what's been done in the past.
Well, no. See, what you're talking about is the fact that American presidents in the past have also violated the Constitution by not seeking congressional approval to wage war. And what you are saying is because they were criminals, we are also going to be criminals. Please don't fool yourself into thinking that, like Barack Obama had congressional approval to continue drone striking throughout Iraq and Afghanistan. He didn't. Granted, the thing is, they were allegedly fighting against terrorist organizations, right? They, Al-Qaeda and ISIS and even the Taliban, right? And you do not need congressional approval to go to war with terrorists. This is the same reason why Donald Trump labeled all of the cartels in South America as terrorist organizations, right? He didn't do that because they're terrorists. They're not. He did that because he doesn't need congressional approval to bomb those boats in the Caribbean, to bomb those places in Mexico. By the way, 2 U.S. officials dead in Mexico, most likely undercover CIA operations, fucking dead. Get fucked. But you see what I'm saying? And again, just to quickly clarify something. A cartel is a business, okay? It is in the business of making money. There is the Canadian Maple Federation that is legally classified as a cartel, and they sell maple syrup, right? It's not an illegal cartel, but it's a cartel, right? And then you have drug cartels in South America. They're in the business of making money. Terrorist organizations, at least according to the United Nations, terrorism is using violence in order to enact some sort of political change, right? The cartels in South America are not trying to create political change in the United States. They're trying to sell drugs. They're trying to make money, okay? They're not participating in violent acts in order to change the rules in the southern border. That's not what they are. They are not terrorists. Now, this is not to say they are good people. All the cartels are fucking diabolical beings, but they're not fucking terrorists.
You say...
All right, more. All right, so we have Trump being interviewed on his tarmac before, I believe he was headed to Doral, which is one of the golf courses he owns where the PGA is having their fucking competition or whatever. I don't watch golf. I do know that Trump put up a golden statue of himself in the same position as the North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un at that Doral golf course, so that's fucking horrifying, but let's get a look.
In your letter to Congress, you said the hostilities in Iran that started have been terminated.
In your letter to Congress, you said that the hostilities in Iran have started to be terminated. Is that what you said?
How can you say terminated? How can you say that given that the naval blockade is still being?
How can you say that given that the naval blockade is still going? How can you say that considering the naval blockade is still being militarily enforced? So don't forget, like a blockade is an act of war. You are saying that if you try to pass a blockade, we're going to blow your shit up, right? That is an act of war.
It's a very friendly blockade. Nobody's even challenging.
It's a very friendly blockade.
Nobody at all is challenging.
That's not true at all. Chinese ships passed right through our blockade.
So you understand, many presidents have been involved in things that are very big. they never had to go through anything with respect to Congress. They considered it to be totally unconstitutional.
No, none of them considered it to be unconstitutional. They knew that not seeking congressional approval to wage these wars, like in Vietnam or Iraq and Afghanistan, they knew it was unconstitutional to do it, and they did it regardless. And now you are doing the same, Donald. It is literally baked within the Constitution that you must seek congressional approval to wage war.
And the Democrats in Congress that push this, and probably a couple of Republicans, they're hurting our negotiating ability, which is infinite right now. And they shouldn't be doing it. It's never happened before. No other president's done it.
That's not true at all.
And I'm not going to be the first. Thank you very much.
God, he's such a fucking scumbag. The contempt he holds for the United States Constitution should be fucking studied. All right, and then he was asked last second about withdrawing troops from Germany. And why are we withdrawing troops from Germany?
Why is the U.S. removing troops from Germany?
We're going to cut way down, and we're cutting a lot further than 5,000. Thank you very much.
So he doesn't even answer the question. The question is why, but he's saying we're withdrawing troops from Germany. The answer to that question is he's having a temper tantrum, and he thinks that withdrawing troops from Germany will punish the German people, when in reality, all that is doing is granting them more freedom to make their own decisions, right? Hopefully that listen, if you're German and you're watching this, that means you're probably on the left. If you are a leftist German, a communist German, bro, this is your opportunity to try and grow your leftist momentum without the fear of American involvement in your elections and shit. All of the American involvement stems around the fact that we have multiple bases within Germany with thousands and thousands of troops there so that we can, you know, enact whatever we want over there. We are leaving. It is now your time to shine and create a communist Germany.
Under what circumstances would you restart military strikes?
On what circumstances would you restart military targeting in Iran? And I'm pretty sure he's about to say, if they misbehave.
I don't want to say that. I mean, I can't tell that to a reporter. If they misbehave, if they do something bad, but...
If they misbehave, bro. He genuinely does act like an abusive father.
Right now, we'll see. But, you know, it's a possibility that could happen, sir.
You see, this was copium from him. He knew he was always going to continue military operations. They've been using this quote-unquote ceasefire as a chance to rearm, reload, and relaunch the assault. All right, so now we have an incredibly racist tirade from Donald Trump. Trigger warning, this is some of the most vile, xenophobic, eugenics-style, like, anti-black racism I've ever fucking heard. It's Jack! Hi, Jack! Everybody say hi, Jack! I haven't seen Jack in so long. Now that Jack is here, I can actually pay everybody.
I mean, look at the wonderful country. It's a beautiful country. You should try it sometime. Somalia. It's a beautiful place. It's got no government. It's got no military. It's got no...
It's got no government. It's got no military. Neither of those things are true.
Anything. It's got one thing that's really strong. Crime. It's got a lot of crime. They have no police. All they do is run around shooting each other. It's filthy dirty, disgusting dirty. It's a horrible place. They come here, and Ilhan Omar, you ever hear of her?
Fucking love Ilhan Omar. By the way, he's speaking at a crowd of seniors at the villages in Florida. I'm not kidding. There's not a single person in this room under the age of 65. That's not a joke. The average age in this room is 74.
She heads it. And think of it. They have nothing but crime, poverty, pollution. Everything is horrible over there. Nothing good. They say it's the worst country anywhere in the world, that we got some beauties out there, but it's the worst. And then she comes here from Somalia, and she tells us how to run the United States of America.
No, she came here from Somalia and then became a congresswoman, and now she has fucking representative power and can do that shit.
She says, the Constitution gives me certain rights. Gives me certain rights. And I demand that I be given these rights. Get the hell out. What a phony.
Wait, and I demand that I be given these rights, and your response is get the hell out?
And I demand that I be given these rights. Get the hell out. What a phony.
So your problem is that she's demanding rights? Your problem is that she's demanding her constitutional rights? And also, yeah, what an awful attempt at her fucking accent. Jesus Christ. Jack just said, I had a panic attack regarding the size of the universe last night. I had a panic attack analyzing the size of my cock last night. So small.
And then she married a brother to come in. I don't know, you're not.
Again, not true whatsoever. Ilhan Omar never married her brother. I don't know how this conspiracy theory started, but I guarantee you it started by some red hat wearing toothless fucking hick making $40,000 a year living out of a trailer park crying real tears when I say that we should tax the 1% like Elon Musk because you bumbling fucking redneck, actually think that you're a temporarily embarrassed billionaire and one day you'll have the right to go into the Epstein Memorial Ballroom and dance with the spirit of Donald J. Trump. You fucking idiots.
But I would imagine they're looking at her. I have nothing to do with it. I would imagine. Of course I have nothing to do. I have nothing, but I believe she married her brother, which is totally illegal.
She never married her brother, and by the way, Ilhan Omar should fucking sue. Granted, I don't think you'll ever be successful in suing Donald Trump because the guy is a literal multi-billionaire and he has more money than God and he can just like drag along any sort of lawsuit. Don't forget, guys, in the United States of America, there are two different justice systems. The justice system for us, normal Americans, where if you commit something like fraud or perjury, you go to prison, okay? And then or even child rape. And then there is the justice system for the Epstein class, where if you have enough money, you can literally murder people and you can be pardoned by the president, or you can have a very long court case where you stretch it out as long as possible and you have more money to pay your lawyers and the people who are suing you don't, and eventually they're forced to settle because you can just keep this going as long as possible. There is no actual justice system in the United States of America. There is an injustice system where people like us, we have to face the penalty of paying the consequences for our crimes, but pedophile, rapists, sex traffickers such as Donald Trump do not.
I believe she married her brother, which is totally illegal. Although it's a lovely couple, actually, but it's a little bit on the illegal side. Darling, I love you very much. Good night, brother. Let's go to bed. Good night.
The crowd is eating that shit up, bro. He does have the right crowd. I mean, listen, if you want a poppin' Trump rally, you got to make sure the average age is 74.
Isn't she despicable? I can't stand watching.
Oh, yeah. Also, Clint Czar, chatter, pointed out, you can also buy a pardon from Trump. This is real. If you go to Mar-a-Lago and you give the Trump organization a $1 million check, you can buy a pardon for anybody you want. This has happened, I believe, over 100 times since he was elected.
Can't stand. Did you see last month, she accidentally checked the wrong box. It said she was worth $38 million. And law enforcement came after her for that. And then all of a sudden, she was worth less than $80,000. And she said it was accounting. It was an accounting error.
The amount of gonorrhea in this fucking audience, you would never believe it, bro. These old fucks in the villages, they're having massive orgy parties. It's the most disgusting shit you ever heard of. It makes Hero-gasm from the boys look like child's play compared to these old fucks.
I was not a very good accountant, was it? No, their whole life is based on fraud and a scam.
That's literally you. That's literally you. Your whole entire life is based off fraud and scams, bro. That's unironically the Trump family.
The whole thing is a scam, and we ought to get those people the hell out of our country.
He's saying that about all Somalians. We need to get all Somalians the hell out of our country, and listen to the crowd erupt. You hear that? That reaction is the reason why I confidently say that if you support Donald Trump right now, in this moment, I don't consider you to be human. I consider you to be subhuman, an inferior class of vermin. You shouldn't have the same rights as me. Your vote certainly shouldn't count the same as me. This crowd can sit, by the way, don't forget the civil rights era was not that far away. This crowd was the same 18 and 19-year-old racist white people fucking spitting on black children as they were integrated into desegregated schools. The same people who were crying real tears at the thought of having to share a water fountain with a black person. That's who these people are. Unfortunately, those people are not fucking dead yet. They are still alive and they are still voting Republican. Jesus fucking Christ. All right, more clip from the same event of him mocking a transgender weightlifter. Granted, he has done this before. I know some of you are feeling a little bit of deja vu, but here's what it looks like now.
Come on, darling. The mother's screaming like crazy. Darling, I love you, darling. Mom, I can't do it. Mom.
You know what would fix the situation? That would fix the situation. And that is all I can say regarding it. Okay, more. Oh, this is hilarious. So this is Trump flexing that he took cognitive tests and that he's the only president to have ever had to take a cognitive test. And then he tells you about how hard the questions are. Like they show you a picture of a bear, a lion, a shark, and a giraffe, and they say, which one is the bear? I'm not kidding, fam. By the way, that's not a cognitive test. That's a dementia test. It is standard issue dementia tests across the entire fucking nation. That is literally the question that they ask you when they're testing to make sure that you don't have Alzheimer's or dementia.
In California, Gavin Newsom is not good. But he gave the worst interview a month ago. Did you see it? Where he said he was incompetent, he can't read, he can't write, he can't do it.
No, he said he was dyslexic. Huh? What? And also, being dyslexic is like the least disabled you could possibly be. It's like, sure, I have some problems reading, but that's really about it. And it's incredibly common.
He said he's horrible for testing. We should give him a cognitive test. I took 3 of them. Aced all of them, by the way. 3 of them. You know, I'm the only president to take a cognitive test.
Yeah, that's not a flex, Donnie.
I don't think Obama could pass it. I don't. Didn't he get into Harvard with a C average? I don't know. What's that? I don't think he could pass it. I don't think. Well, Biden is.
Didn't your daddy buy you a seat at the Wharton Business School, you fuck?
Give me a break. You know, the first question is very easy. It's a lion, a giraffe, a bear, and a shark. They say, which one is the bear?
Yeah, Donnie, that's not a cognitive test. They're trying to make sure that, you know, you're not retarded.
And everybody says, oh, 30 questions.
Apologies for having to use that word, but that's quite literally what they're trying to make sure, bro. They're trying to make sure that your brain hasn't melted.
It's very standard. It's a very standard test, but very tough around those last 10 questions. Not too many people, even in this very room, unlike Newsom, I'll say, this room of geniuses. He said, I'm in a room of dumb people. That was not good. That was not good. You know what happened to him after that? It wasn't a pretty, but I'm in a room of brilliant people, but a lot of you wouldn't have been able to answer those 10 questions.
I'm in a room full of brilliant people, but you're all so stupid you couldn't pass a dementia test. The worst part is he is correct. Since it's a dementia test, the overwhelming majority of people in this room probably have dementia. We're talking about the villages.
And when I got the score in the test, the doctor said, wow, I've never seen, you know, you have 5 doctors.
I'm sure when you got your score, the doctor went, wow, I have never seen anything like this. I actually bet he's telling the truth about that, but not in the way that he's thinking, bro. I guarantee you that doctor went, oh my God, Mr. President, you're an idiot. You have the IQ of a dead raccoon, sir. I can't help you. You're so fucking dumb.
Doctors lined up, they're all over the place. I said, should I take it? You know, I've had different phases. They've said, he's a mad genius. I didn't mind that too much. Then they said, he's a horrible human being. I don't like that much. Then they said, he's really not a smart person at all. I really hated that.
So you care less about somebody saying you're a horrible human being than you do them saying you're stupid?
So I took a cognitive test, and I said to the
villages have the highest elderly disease rates? Yes, because they have massive fucking orgies. I wasn't joking about that, bro. It's disgusting. All right, now you have Donald Trump. By the way, I've been saying this for a while, that us seizing these oil tankers on the high seas and then Trump taking the money from the oil and investing it into his private bank account in Qatar, that is pirate level shit. And people give me shit, they're like, no, we're not pirates. The Somalis are pirates, or the Iranians are acting like pirates, or the Houthis are acting like pirates. Oh, well, Donald Trump himself says that we are pirates. Get a look at this.
And there was no response. Turn your ship around. Evacuate your engine room immediately. And you see all these guys running out of there. Now, they're 5 miles away, and one shot into the engine room, blew up the engine room.
Bro, he sounds like me playing fucking Sea of Thieves, hitting a perfectly placed chain shot.
Stopped. They used tugboats, and then we landed on top of it. On top of everything else, we then land on top of it, and we took over the ship. We took over the cargo, took over the oil. It's a very profitable business. Who would have thought we were doing that? We're like pirates.
Yeah, bro! You're acting like fucking pirates. You're using the United States Navy to act like pirates.
We're sort of like pirates. But we're not playing games because, you know, for 47 years, Iran has been pushing everybody around. They're the bully. And
you know, I do find it ironic that they claim that we have been at war for 47 years, yet it's not a forever war. So, like, here's the thing. You're saying we're on day 61 of this war, but then in the same breath, you're claiming that the war has been going on for 47 years. Which one is it? Is it a 47-year-long forever war, the longest war in fucking American history? Or is it a 62, 63-day-long military operation? Which one is it? The answer is, it's both. Hey! It's a 47-year-long war when I need it to be, and it's a 2-month-long special military operation when I need it to be. It depends on which side of the fucking pedophile bed I woke up on this morning, Mr. Chris. Thank you, President Donald Trump. You're welcome, you fat fucking wop. Anyway, what we know about Trump's Project Freedom aimed to help stranded ships through the Strait of Hormuz. All right, so what do we know? The Iranian response. Let's see. A statement from the head of Iran's Central Command said that it would attack any foreign armed force that tried to approach or enter the strait, especially the aggressive U.S. Army. Major General Ali Abdullahi said safe passage through it must be coordinated with Iran under all circumstances. How is the U.S. military implementing Trump's plan? An estimated 20,000 sailors and 2,000 ships have been trapped in the Gulf since the start of the war with Iran. There have been growing concern over dwindling supplies and the effects on sailors' physical and mental health. Yeah, these guys are starving and they're going fucking crazy on those ships. All right, Trump did not say how they would be able to sail away. He only threatened the use of force if, in any way, this humanitarian process is interfered with. CENTCOM then announced that, quote, guided missile destroyers, over 100 land and sea-based aircraft, multi-domain unmanned platforms, that's drones, and 15,000 service members would be used to support the operation. So we got 15,000 men in danger. Jesus fucking Christ, bro. All right, let's talk about approval ratings. Trump's disapproval rating hits a new record high and hits a new record high in a new poll.
The concept of the deal, they're going to give me the exact wording now, yeah. With regard to Iran, again, they want to make a deal. They're decimated. They told me about the concept of the deal. They're going to...
I know they didn't. Because you are saying a concept of a deal, that is literally your fucking verbiage, bro. You have said that for 10 years. I have concepts of a plan. When he was asked about healthcare, what's your healthcare plan? I have concepts of a plan. This is because he has had no fucking communication with the IRGC leadership whatsoever, because they decentralized their leadership, and even if you made a deal with one of them, you didn't make a deal with all of them, and he is improvising, and his brain immediately went to the shit he knows.
Give me the exact wording now, yeah.
Enough of that stupid fucking noise. Trump's disapproval numbers hit a record high in a new poll. In the latest Washington Post ABC Ipsos poll, Trump's disapproval rating hit 62%. So 62% of Americans disapprove of Donald Trump. It took 6 years during the Vietnam War for this same number to hit. It took 6 years for, who was it? Was it Nixon, I believe, to reach 62%? 62% in 6 fucking years. Jesus fucking Christ. By the way, the missiles that struck, 2 different missiles struck in American warship. This happened. The United States military is denying that this happened. Just so you understand, if you need to know who is telling the truth, it is always the Iranians. It is never the Americans. The entire United States government is liars. All of it. The entirety of the United States government is a pathological lying machine. U.S. CENTCOM denied Iran's claims that a U.S. warship transiting the Strait of Hormuz was struck by 2 missiles and forced to retreat. That's all I need to know for it to be true. Again, good news. Former NYC Mayor Rudy Giuliani is hospitalized and in critical condition. As you can see, he has been dying slowly. This is him covered in brown makeup. He also has fake teeth. This man is dying very slowly, which is fucking hilarious. And yeah, that's all I got for you. I want to check, let's see if there's anything else.
Out of office in, let's say, 8 or 9 years from now, I'll be able to use it. I'll be able to use it myself.
That's because Trump is not only running a third term, he's also running a fourth term. I didn't know that he gave a speech.
Everybody was wrong. They thought that energy would be at $300, right? $300 a barrel, and it's like at 100.
Bro, that's so funny, is that he can't defend how high oil prices have gotten, so he's saying, I thought it'd be even higher.
I see it going down very substantially.
Dude, this is like when you check your wallet and you only have like $11 and you go, damn, I thought I'd only have $5. Brother, you're still fucking broke.
This is over, Chris, and I think very rapidly too, at levels that you've never seen, because there's a lot of energy out there. Ships all over the world that are loaded up with it. They can't do much with it because they got kidnapped by a pretty evil place. But
they weren't kidnapped, you stupid fuck. Oh my God. Oh Jesus, what does Laura Loomer have to say? Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? All right. Well, that is all I've got for you for today's episode of the Valenti VOD. If you're here live, you stay. We got to get this uploaded. If you're watching this pre-recorded on YouTube, thank you very much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing, and it helps me immensely. And do me one last favor. Click that video right over there. It's a banger, and I know bangers. That video was an hour and 20 minutes long. Holy shit. I actually already made the thumbnail. You guys are going to love it. You guys are going to love the thumbnail. You're going to love it. Dude, an hour and 20 minutes long, and it didn't feel like it, right? I mean, like, the shit that we do here, it did not feel like it. Here, get a look at the thumbnail. Here, I'll show you it on Canva. This is a real photo from earlier when he was pretending to be a transgender athlete. Look at this. This is a real photo of him. Look how fucking fat he is. Look how fucking fat he is. Like, I mean, he's so fucking fat. He's so unbelievably fat. Oh. God almighty, dude. Okay. The ceasefire is over. U.S. warships hit by Iranian missiles. U.S. warships hit by Iranian missiles. Operation Epstein's Fury continues. The Iran war just got even the Iran war just passed the point of no return. Are there any Trump supporters in the chat? I'd love to have somebody to bully. Any of you? There's got to be at least one Trump supporter in the chat, huh? No? Probably not. It's getting very increasingly difficult to admit that you're a Trump supporter. It's becoming increasingly difficult to do so. No, but you can bully me, Chris. Nah, I want to bully somebody who, like, actually will be hurt by it, not somebody who has a weird kink and gets off by it. You know? I want to actually hurt somebody's feelings. You know what I'm saying? All right, while this processes, let's make an advertisement. A U.S. warship in the Strait of Hormuz was hit by 2 Iranian missiles, and immediately CENTCOM is claiming that it didn't happen. It did happen, and the reason why I know this is because the United States government is lying to us every fucking step of the way regarding the Iran war. The ceasefire is officially over. Granted, the ceasefire never actually began because we put a naval blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. That is an act of war, and we were threatening them with military violence if they tried to penetrate the blockade, which the Chinese just fucking waltzed right through. We did nothing about it because we don't have the ammo to even fuck with China if we wanted. On top of that, Trump gave a speech at the Villages with his like 75-year-old fucking fans where they were cheering over this stupidest shit about him talking about Ilhan Omar marrying her brother, which she never fucking did. And then he pretended to be a transgender athlete doing the whole I mean, let me show you this photo. Look at this. I know it's processing, but this is a real photo of Donald Trump. Here's a better version. This is a real photo of Donald Trump, okay? Look at how fat and disgusting he fucking is. What else? We sunk 6 Iranian ships in the Strait of Hormuz. The Iranians bombed the UAE. Trump is threatening to nuke them. He's threatened to nuke them 9 times. Trump says the Iranians have 24 hours to make a deal. The Iranians said that they're negotiating, but they're not talking about nuclear or anything. Trump says the only thing that matters is nuclear. Overall, it's just a fucking nightmare because this fascist regime, ours, has no idea what they're fucking doing. I got a whole new YouTube video talking about this in length, and I mean in length. It's an hour and 20 minutes long talking about the breaking news of the day. It's absolutely fucking gobsmacking. So go check that out. New YouTube video. New YouTube video. New YouTube video. New YouTube video. Hell yeah. Let's get that. Oh, okay. So now we can post this. What's wrong? Publish. I watch Midas from time to time. Don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, they're still, you know, capitalists, so. Let's edit out my millennial pause. Oh, video's still being trimmed. Okay. Well, let's get the advertisement uploaded, huh? Trump is live. Let's find him. Trump live now. Yes, you're right.
More tested, they're stronger, a little bit more complex. I like to keep it as simple as possible. And in many ways, they'll be better. It'll be better. I just want you not to think that because of that decision, the tariffs will actually be higher. It's turning out they're going to end up being higher.
Talk
But
louder,
it's made
you
our country
fucking
rich,
decrepit bastard.
Really rich.
Dying old
And,
fuck.
It's like Andrew said. I mean, without them, there would be nothing we could do to save your country. Nothing. It's the greatest word. Remember, I used to say it's my favorite word in the dictionary, the word tariff. And then
Tariff?
the fake news got on me. They said, well, what about God? What about your wife? What about your family?
Yeah.
What about... So they were just killing me because I said it's my favorite word. I said, all right, it's my 5th favorite word.
My favorite word is cum.
But
great word.
Because of tariffs, and you know the proper use of tariffs. You have
With a
to
U.
Use them in a certain way, but you know we've been ripped off in this. I've been talking about it for years. We've been ripped off in this country for decades. And we lost our car industry. Think of it. There's a person here making utensils, beautiful forks and knives and things. Where is that person? Who's around here? So and he was telling me, he said China's coming in and they're ripping us, and we have a tariff. It's 25%, but it's not enough because you know they have certain advantages that you're not going to have, but the advantage you have is you have a higher quality product, and I'm going to be able to take care of that very easily, just by putting it up. You'll be treated fairly. It's just really tough, and it's amazing you've done as well as you've done, but you did that because of the quality of your product. We have such quality. North Carolina, if you take a look, I'm going to put tremendous tariffs on. That process has already started. It takes me longer now because of the Supreme Court decision. I have to go through a process. It's ridiculous, but we don't like it. We like to do what's right and get it done instead of having to do a report which is going to come out and say the exact same thing that everyone knows. But you can tell the people in North Carolina that, we used to have a great furniture business. I built a lot of hotels and a lot of different buildings where I need furniture. I would go to North Carolina. These were great artists, and China essentially put them out of business because we didn't have a president that was willing to do it. It happened before my term. They've been out of business for a long. I used to go down there and see these people. They were artists with wood. I'd say, I'd like to make the handle a little bit slimmer. Ding, 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 ding. It was like magic. And we lost that whole thing. You can say it's coming back because we're putting tariffs on furniture where you'll be able to more than compete. We have to protect our businesses. Same thing with you in the utensil business. Your stuff is so beautiful, but it's very tough when you're competing against something that is cheap and, because of the lack of protection that you've been given, it just puts you out of business. So you actually said thank you for the tariffs, but the tariffs really aren't.
Sometimes you don't even need to talk when Trump is speaking.
Furniture,
you could just let him talk, and he does enough damage on his own.
See, it'll be as robust as it was 25, 30 years ago. The greatest furniture people in the world, and they got stolen. They really didn't take them. They found people in China that could do it, and all those people got put out of jobs, and their kids have that same ability. And you watch what happens, how good it is in North Carolina, because I've had to go through a process to get that approved, but now it's proved, and you're going to be, again, the furniture capital of the world, because nobody can do that quality. And I know the quality.
Pretty sure the furniture capital of the world is Turkey. They have a whole ass piece of furniture named after the Ottoman Empire.
To buy from China because of pricing.
That was
because
funny.
Of pricing and because of for other reasons. What I wasn't getting was the kind of quality that we were getting here. And now you'll have a combination of both. So you can let that be known. I don't know if that's breaking news or not for these people, but to me, it's very important. I've been wanting to do it for a long time, and now we have a pretty. I love North Carolina. My administration is also committed to ensuring that American small businesses have access to the credit and capital that they need under Administrator Loeffler, who's phenomenal. She's And she's got a great husband, Jeff, and he's a friend of mine, and he's a very successful man, and he's a great man, and he's got a great wife. And
check this out, guys. Luigi, the day I got her. Oh, look at her. She's gonna turn 4 soon.
Small Business Administration issued $7 billion in loans to 11,000 new startups, as well as $1.3 billion in loans to 3,000 veteran-owned small businesses, and $3.2 billion. They're a big business, That's why I say, how can we call it small business? $3.2 billion to American manufacturers, helping restore those beautiful words, made in the USA, where we're using them more and more. We have things being made here that nobody thought it was even possible for it to come back. Like you'll see in North Carolina with the furniture. It'll come back very, very rapidly. So, Kelly, I'd like to ask you to say a few words, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. First of all, you are the most pro-growth, pro-small business president in American history.
Small business. Hi, Abby.
It's
Hey,
such
buddy.
an honor to join you here at the White House to recognize National Small Business Week, and you're the greatest commander-in-chief ever, but also one of America's greatest businessmen, and small businesses know that. They see that this administration is shifting power and capital From fraudsters and Washington bureaucrats back to Main Street job creators, just like we have gathered in this room today. Fair trade, deregulation, and the working family tax cuts and the one big beautiful
The war
bill.
rages
They are
on, ladies and...
powering real opportunity that I see all over as I travel this country, especially after 4 crushing years of Bidenomics and decades of shipping our jobs and our industries overseas, hollowing out our local communities. That is ending. As I travel the country each week, and Mr. President, I've traveled with you from Iowa's Machine Shed restaurant to Georgia's Coosa Steel factory. America First policies are restoring the American dream on Main Street to new heights. At generational businesses like Jimmy's Famous Seafood, at industrial innovators like Prince Manufacturing in Georgia and Blue Patriot in Nebraska, who are building big, beautiful new buildings.
Officer involved shooting near the White House. Security measures briefly enacted.
Thanks to the working family tax cuts.
Doesn't mean
Today,
shit to me.
98% of U.S. manufacturers are small businesses. They're a critical part of securing our supply chains.
Yeah, and every small
while
business is being ass fucked by the increasing price of their goods due to the tariffs.
To defense and aerospace. America's big manufacturers rely on these producers and their skilled workers.
This
And that's
fucking
why
bitch
President
is
Trump's
so
economic
ugly, by the
agenda
way.
Means made in America.
Her whole
is
face
coming
is
back and it's
compressed.
coming back fast.
Her whole face is compressed. Ugly bitch.
Now, at the Trump SBA, we're helping to fuel that growth. As the most free enterprise agency in the federal government, in 2025 alone, we guaranteed a record $45 billion in lending to 85,000 small businesses through local banks. That's an all-time record at the SBA, and we did it with 53% fewer.
Luigi, this is a charger for my laptop. Thank God this wasn't plugged in. Oh my God, it is! How did you not die? What have you done? Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Hi, little mama. Hi, everyone.
.500 feet long.
He's talking about the pool, the Lincoln pool.
I think any building in the world, that would be if you lay it sideways. It's 2 Empire State Buildings, more than that, and very wide, 167 feet. And for years they've wanted to fix it.
There's no way it's that long. 2 Empire
granite.
State Buildings? There's no way.
Good. Granite's great, but it was leaking because it's little pieces of granite. Very, very expensive when they did it, but it always leaked from the day they built it. In 1922, and it leaked badly, and they've looked
2,030 feet.
Decades really fixing it, and it wasn't working. It was too expensive. And the final price we got fairly recently was to fix it is $350 million.
Yeah, it's not two.
Take the granite out.
It's not 2. It's not fucking 2. He said it was more than 2. It's barely 1.5.
It was going to take 3.5 years, and I heard about it, and I called Doug Burgum, and I said, Doug, what do you think? I built a lot of swimming pools, hundreds of swimming pools in different jobs.
At least he's focused on the issues that matter during the raging war in Iran, like the pool, like the Lincoln Memorial pool.
It started because I called because it was so dirty, it was disgusting. People called me and they'd say, you know, it's a shame. I'm looking at the Washington Monument and this thing is terrible. The water is dirty. There's cartons of stuff in it and everything is just so horrible. And I said, wow, that's terrible. We can't have that. I actually had Secret Service. I said, drive over there. I want to see it. Sir, we won't be able to. I said, just do it. And when it was terrible, I looked at it, terrible. So think of that. So it was going to cost $350 million. So we're going to take the granite out, put new granite, and think, you know, consider it like as tall as the tallest building in the world, if not taller, and laying on its side. And I said, wow, that's terrible. $350 million. It's going to take 3.5 years. 3.5 years it'll be, and you know 3.5 years means 5 years. $350 million means $500 million to fix it. And I said, you know, I built all these swimming pools.
Look how big
they're phenomenal. In 20 years, I have one up the road where it's a great club on the Potomac River. And I bought it up at 21 years ago, and I built a beautiful Olympic-sized pool. And I asked the other day, I said, how good is the pool? Oh, it's beautiful, sir. I looked at it, it looks like it's brand new, it was done 20 years ago. So I have some very good contractors, some good, one or
In
two
your
in
webcam?
particular. And I said actually the three best. I said, do me a favor, fellas. Go take a look at the reflecting pool that sits in between Lincoln and Washington, the beautiful, what should be beautiful reflecting pool. And one of them who came back, who's really, I would say the best, but they were all good. He came back, he said, what an exciting job, sir. I said, so how long would it take you to redo it? He said, well, we have to fix the surface a little bit, create something good and solid underneath. That'll take about a week.
Was my shit just dirty for months?
And let's say
Wait,
it'll
yo,
take a
was
week
my
to put
shit
the
dead ass
new
just
material
dirty?
down. The swimming pool is good, but he said,
Was my
"Sir,
shit
I
just
get
dirty?
commercial grade."
God,
What
I'm-
he said, he said that's
I'm a
much
fucking
stronger,
idiot, bro.
much heavier.
My
meant
shit
for
was dead ass just
commercial.
dirty?
It actually looks better. It's more expensive, sir. I said, that's okay. I said, how much will it cost? I think we can do it for about $1.9 million. So he said, what color would you like, sir? And I said, well, you know. that
Dirtier than
beautiful
Asmongold?
color
Put him in
that
the
we
corner.
have
Put him in the corner for
Florida.
60
He
seconds so
said,
we can
"This
learn
is
to
in
never
Florida,
fucking
sir.
say
We don't
some
have
shit
that
like that
green,
again.
blue,
Put him in the
and
fucking
we
corner
have
for
blue
60
water."
seconds.
But,
Geo, corner,
he gave me
60
choice of
seconds.
$50
Forehead against the
outdoor
wall.
because, you know what I'm
Dunce
saying?
corner.
If
Get
we put the
fucked.
granite, you know what your color is? It was gray. It was gray. Not a good looking color. So even if you did it, it's not good. So I said,
Get fucked.
You do a beautiful job. I think that I'd like to recommend a color that I've used before. It's beautiful. What's it called? It's called
Blue?
American flag blue. I said, that's the color I want. How can you have a better color than American flag? We had a great discussion.
Real quick, let's get like a fat dono train going, huh? Let's get a whole bunch of money sent to your boy so your boy can pay his bills. Cause I just dropped $600 paying the fucking mods because I pay my mods cause I don't believe in free fucking labor. Let's get the money rolling in! Come on now. Come on, please.
Granted, it's so strong. We roughened the stone so it's a good surface. Got it immaculate and it's beautiful. But it still has the lines in between.
$5. Thank you,
can have
Lily.
leaks all
Lily
over the
Loudmouth.
place.
Thank you.
And we filled in some areas, and the work started a few days ago.
Bro, he's still
And I wanted
talking
to go
about it.
today. I said, let me see these small business people, and then I want to go over and see the contractors to see how they're doing. But Secret Service was not thrilled. They were not thrilled at me standing in the middle
I
of the
love you,
pool
but your
with
neighbors
lots
must
of
hate
good-
you. My commie neighbors moved. They're gone. I had communists on both sides. They're still here, but the commies behind this wall are gone. Nobody lives there yet. Whoever lives in there next, you have no idea what you get into.
Because I don't call the, actually the Parks Department did a great job. They cleaned that. A lot of men cleaning. They're scrubbing the scum off years and years of
Move me
decay.
in.
And
I don't know if you could afford
bacteria
that
and
one, bro. That's a
everything else. You can think
2-bedroom.
it was
But
terrible.
I guarantee you, Jack, you could probably afford a studio somewhere nearby. You could probably get a studio for $1,100 a month.
Down to the surface, and these guys came in and made the surface really.
Thanks
really
for
good.
the $6.
And now the beautiful,
Thanks for
the
the
fun
$5.
songs, and they're putting
Oh,
it
look at
down.
that. That chatter said, this community made the breakup from my abusive ex a lot easier. Fuck yeah. $10. I got you, twin. Appreciate you, Cadillac. But I'm glad you got away from your abusive ex. God, that's loud.
A great, beautiful blue color, American flag blue.
Brother, he's
as
been going
opposed
off
to
about
gray.
this for 10 whole minutes.
What is not gray?
First time catching you live.
It's
Thank
one
you,
of those
June.
things.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for the $10. Send me another 10 right now. Okay?
It's 1 week. So think of that. 1 week. So everybody say, well, yeah, but you can't compare this. Yeah, you can. It's much better. It's a much better job. This will last for at least 50 years, and you'll never have a leak. It's very strong. You couldn't, if you had a knife, I don't want to give anybody ideas. If you had a knife, you can't even cut it. So strong, so powerful. It's like powerful rubber. It is beautiful, sealed. And I looked at just one of the little pieces that they did.
Brother,
finished,
he's
like a
still
piece of
going.
glass. Beautiful color, beautiful everything. You could never get anything like that.
Thanks for the $5.
And just think of it. So for
Thanks
a
for the
tiny
member for 3
fraction
months,
of
Casey.
the cost and a tiny fraction of the time,
I will
we
sing
end up
Bella
with the
Ciao
most
once he
beautiful
stops
thing
talking
that
about the
you'll ever
pool.
see, and I look so forward to that opening up. And it's sort of a business thing. It's a common sense thing. First thing I thought of when I heard $350 million, because I'm the one that said, let's get it done. But they had done
What? $350 million to clean the pool? Bullshit! Bullshit! Fucking what? $200,000 to clean the pool. $350. You know what this is? This is him giving the contractors $350 million to build the pool. They're going to then build the pool and give him the rest of that money. Give it to the Trump organization. This is him paying himself $350 million to clean a pool? What?
You'd like to see them doing it? On your way back home, take a trip down to the reflecting pond, or they call it the reflecting pool. Some people call it the reflecting lake, but the word reflecting
Who the
is
fuck
always
calls it a
part of
lake, you
They call
lying
it different
fat
things, but
fuck?
reflecting is always a part. Last but not least, we have
$350 million? What are you fucking cleaning it with? Unicorn blood? What are you filling it with instead of water? Jesus' cum? What the fuck are we talking about? Yes, I stole that from you, Chatter, but I delivered it better than you!
owner of Hometown Products, a metal casting and 3D printing company near Youngstown, Ohio. Here, it's amazing what he's done. In 2008, the company was nearing bankruptcy.
Did he just say
It
in
looked like it couldn't be
2008? In 2008? You mean 2008? Oh my God! Una mattina mi sono alzato, un bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato l'invasor. Oh partigiano, portami via. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Partigiano, portami via. Che mi sento di morir. All right, who the fuck is this guy, huh? What is this? What is this? Is that... Brother, why does that look like the Arab version of, what the fuck is the black guy who does, not The Price is Right, but the one where you're like, worst thing to see when you walk into a room, and he goes, my grandma's pussy! What show is that?
People to be an ambassador for the largest part of our economy. And I would like to thank
Family Feud? What, Steve, this is Arab Steve Harvey.
Team that I have the privilege of serving.
Look at this wig! Look at this wig!
Even more,
Look at this wig!
President for restarting and rebooting our economy.
Somebody snatch that thing!
Manufacturing used to be 38% of our economy. And it's
That's
down to
Ahmed Harvey.
And I know that you love America, and I know that you want to restart that. In the last 3 months, the PMI index has gone up 3 months in a row because of that restart. We have 10% increase in hiring.
Chuck Norris, more like Chandragar Norisi.
More of those
Chandragar Norisi
that we're able to print the fight, fight, fight Trump statue that was involved. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for loving America. And, you know, manufacturing is my favorite sport, so let's make America manufacture again.
Bro, my neighbor just said, sometimes I'm in the hallway at the perfect time.
It's a great job. I heard it's a great company. Done a fantastic job with it. Thank you very much. And you're right. We lost our manufacturing business. And I used to listen to President Obama say, you'll never get manufacturing back. It's the biggest business in the world if you get it back. And we're heading to that. I think we'll be higher than at any time fairly soon. When these places open, I think we'll be
Probably heard me say my grandma's pussy.
We used to be a manufacturing capital. We were the manufacturing capital of the world, and then it got taken away. The chips went to Taiwan.
Thanks for becoming a loyalist, Big John.
All they do is say, if you sell your product back into the country, there's going to be 100% tariff, and nobody would have left. And you know, I made a investment, Intel, chip maker, the biggest in the world, and then it got taken away because of bad politics, actually, because the politicians, the presidents, no president protected that industry. So all of a sudden you have this superpower over in Taiwan, but they're coming back. As you know, we have the biggest companies coming into, they're pouring into this country. They know that the tariffs go to a certain extent, and then they go
Yeah,
up,
he's
up,
got
up,
his
as we
Israeli
go.
tie on.
But, I will say that it's so sad to see what's happened, but it makes me so happy to say we're bringing it back. And as sure as you're sitting there, I mean, these are companies that are fully committed. There are many under construction. They're on their way. And when I look at what happened to our country, I used to make speeches as a private person. I always loved politics, but I never thought I'd be doing this. But as a private person doing well, I used to just marvel at the fact that the car companies were leaving Detroit and leaving our country at levels that were just, I mean,
That's because of Reagan, you dumb fuck, offshoring.
And all they had to do is say, you can leave our country, you can have lots of fun building your cars, but if you think you're going to sell it back into our country for no cost, you're wrong. But nobody said that. Not one president, even presidents I liked, but they were bad on trade. You've never had a good president on trade, and now you do, and we're bringing them back at levels never seen before. So we're going to have something, and as far as small business is concerned, you are really the driver. I love that story because that's the kind of story that half of the people, I'm not sure about all of them, I'm not sure about Rick, but most of the people in this room would have thought of that. They would have said, well, what about surfacing that stone, that existing stone? But it's just, you know, one example. It's such a great one because it's massive amounts of money and time and a disaster of construction for years. They'll be building and building and building, a mess. What common sense is all about. And you people more than anything, I know you all indirectly. If I don't know you, I still know you. But the fact is, it's common sense. And if you didn't have common sense, you would not have a good business, and you wouldn't have a good small business, big business, or any other business. So I just want to congratulate Mark. I want to congratulate. That's a great tribute, really. You've done an amazing job. But I want to congratulate everybody in the room. You're fantastic people. And we are really, this is the golden age of America. I really
Fucking sun is
last year we
beating on
were
me
scoffed
right now,
at.
bro.
I tell the story
Sweating like a
often that
pig.
the king of Saudi Arabia,
See that shine?
a year and a half ago when I was over there, he said, you know, America was a dead country.
And now it's the hottest place, hottest country on
It would be
earth.
appropriate to invest there.
It's the hottest country on earth.
And now, President, you have the hottest country anywhere in the world. That was 7 or 8 months
Anywhere
ago.
in the
We're a lot
world.
hotter than we were then. We had to do this little excursion, but the excursion is, the stock market's higher now than it was when I assumed the market would be down 25%, and that was worth it to get rid of lunatics that would have nuclear weapons that can
Brother, you're a
wipe out
lunatic with a
countries
nuclear weapon.
with
You
the
have
push
wiped.
of a button. You can't
You
do
have
that.
threatened to wipe
So
out
I had to do
Iran.
it because It should have been done 47 years. It should have been done by many presidents or other countries. It should have been done a long time ago, but we're doing it, and we have no choice, and I'm very proud to be doing it. But the amazing thing, I thought would be down 20, 25%. I thought the market would be down. The market's...
Again, he's talking about having $5 in your bank account and going, damn, I thought I'd only have $2. He's like, oh, the market's only down that much. It's not, it's way, I thought it'd be way worse. And dude, himbo chud Republicans are gonna think this is a good flex.
Some of your small businesses like yours are gonna be large businesses very soon. And it's an honor to be with you, Kelly and Chris and all of the people that work with me. What a great job you do. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Please fall.
Do you think the ceasefire will hold?
The ceasefire has already crumbled.
Sorry.
God, I can't wait till I'm president, bro. I'm gonna make this whole boring ass building look sick as fuck. I'm gonna be like, you guys wanna go to the laser tag room? And we're gonna have a whole bunch of child soldiers, okay? We're gonna have a whole bunch of orphaned fucking Libyans with laser tag rifles, and that's all. The only room they're gonna be allowed to exist in is the laser tag room, okay? And it's gonna be fucking incredible. It's gonna be incredible. You guys want to see the bong room? And it's just bongs everywhere. Just bongs, bro. It's going to be great. You're a member now. Congratulations, Joshua. Proud of you. All right, guys. That's all I got for you. I'm going to end the live stream. I got to go to the gym again. I went to the gym and did, what did I do? Arms, biceps, and triceps. And I did not get my cardio in. So I'm going to grab my Nintendo Switch. Okay? I'm going to load up Mario Party. Okay? And I'm going to go do 90 minutes walking at a 3.0 incline at 3.5 miles per hour speed on the treadmill while playing Mario Party because I'm a child. Because I'm a child. Sea of Thieves tonight. I am so down for Sea of Thieves tonight, bro, Muhammad Ali. I have a sloop, and it is called the Slippery Jeffrey. We'll take it to the island, son. Take it to the island. We don't do anything bad on that island. We just rob people. I'm not kidding about that. Nelson will be able to confirm tomorrow that I do indeed have a ship called the Slippery Jeffrey. By the way, tomorrow I am filming 2 more episodes of Valentified History. One about the Vietnam War and one about the growing power of nuclear weapons. So, I probably will not be live tomorrow, and if I am live, I won't be live until around the time we were live today. 3 o'clock in the afternoon or something along those lines. All right? Okay? Understood? Understood? And by the way, I hope you can see the purposeful irony in me making a video about the Vietnam War and how it lasted 19 years, and it started with a couple advisors, and then 5,000 troops, 20,000 troops. Next thing you know, we had a fucking 750,000, and then obviously the nuclear weapons. I hope you can see the irony. Or the relevancy. All right. I'm out of here. Bye, guys. Thank you very much. Later. And thanks, Possum, for being here. Appreciate you. Tell your buddy I said hello. Bye, everyone.